Hey everybody, Etcher here. So, I know I've made videos about this before. I'm plagiarizing some poor guy's video, but I want to explain something about Betelgeuse, about this giant ass star fluctuating all over the place, and why it isn't possible for it to have a companion. There are things around this star because it's the first time it's ever happened in our galaxy, but they're all artificial. Nothing natural could possibly exist around the star, and I'll explain why. What you are looking at isn't what you're looking at. All we are able to perceive on our layer of the universe is the light effect of the matter. We can't see the entirety of what is happening because everything else that's happening is happening on another layer of the universe. But this star that you are looking at right now, this fluctuation where it's turning purple, what it's doing, it's turning inside out. When it does that, when it fluctuates back and forth, that purple is being pulled back inside the funnel and going into the opposite side of this like infinity. This is like this giant funnel going down into another layer of the universe, loops around, comes back out, and then just fluctuates in this like infinity thing. And the two sides fluctuate between each other. The reason nothing could possibly be orbiting this star is because anything that would be in orbit of it would be inside the reflective energy space that the rest of this star is currently inhabiting. See, this star is about 10,000 times bigger than we can see it, but the rest of it isn't on our layer of the universe. But stars especially exist on both layers simultaneously. So any other star, whether it's this size or not, can't exist within the same space as this star, even though to our perception on the tangible layer, there would be some considerable distance between them. But on the relayer, the reflective energy layer of the universe, there'd be no space at all. So two things can't exist within the same space. Anything that you may think is revolving around this star is simply an automated probe put in place to take readings that needs to fluctuate its position and output of gravity manipulation to stay in its position. Because every time it's doing this, it's changing how much gravity it produces. Like there are mass gravity waves flicking all over the place. Nothing natural can exist near this thing, anywhere near it. Not within an orbit anyway. It just simply isn't possible. Not within universal law, actual universal law, not what everybody thinks how things work, how things actually work within reality. But anyway, yeah, just watch it for a while. You'll see it. This is a giant funnel. You're looking into a funnel. And when it expands, all you're seeing is the funnel going, whoop, whoop, it's the edges bursting out. And when it comes out, you're seeing the inner layers of the star coming out. And then they're covered again. And then they come out. And it's actually really, really simple what's happening if you're able to perceive in 4 or 5 dimensions. But unfortunately, most humans can only perceive in 2. But everyone else sees this spinning ball, and I'm looking at a funnel, this giant tornado of plasmic energy reacting between the tangible layer and the real layer of the universe. That's what's happening. Anyway, hey, have a great day. There it goes again. See? And the gravity shifts. Now it's producing far more gravity. The gravity is massively unstable. Anything within an orbit of this right now would have just been rippled out of existence and torn to shreds. Nothing can orbit this thing. It isn't within the universal laws of possibility. It just couldn't happen. Not Not natural, anyway. There's a bunch of artificial. There's thousands of artificial things around this. You can see the shadows of them. You just saw another shadow. You see the shadows of them every now and then. You just have to sit here and stare at it for a few hours. And eventually you start seeing the patterns within the shadows when it starts to flare. There you go. You just saw a bunch of the shadows of all the artificial things around it. You only get flicks of them because you only see them when the gravity fluctuations affect their phasic offset. Oh, yeah, right. A technology beyond something you guys currently understand. But there's a technology that can take you kind of out of the tangible layer and stop a lot of the effects of heat, light. You can remove distance in some cases. It's really complicated, and I'm not going to explain it to you. But yeah, there's things that are sitting around this thing that can sit there very easily. But you only get to see them when the fluctuations reach a point that shows them in another layer of the universe. Technology is actually like what you can build within our space is very, very interesting. And this right here is interesting to everybody because nothing like it has ever happened in our galaxy on record of any known race within galactic space. And the only reason, any consciously aware being on planet Earth, human or not, is going to know that because every other conscious being staring at this thing, they're all connected. It's impossible not to be. It's just how consciousness in the universe works. You'll look at the same thing, you'll share the same thoughts. It's just how shit works. And no, what you are seeing now is not happening 660 years ago. That's not how light works. It's more like it's happening a few years ago. Distance and light and how shit moves around in our universe, it works far differently than people think. Light is an illusion. Distance and everything light gives you is a total, complete illusion. It is simply a way for our minds to perceive what is going on, but it has nothing to do with what's actually going on. So what you're looking at is technically happening right now. It's just happening now in a different frame of time. The universe is a very interesting thing. Because if you got a warp drive and jumped to this right now, it'd look exactly the same as it does right now. Well, except closer. Yeah, things that you think are millions, billions of light years away aren't. They're both a lot further and a lot closer than you think. Light tricks. Light's an illusion. Light is not a representation of reality. It's just there to show you food and tell you what's dangerous. It's not a good way to perceive the values of the universe. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.